Hello, this is Patrick. Welcome to Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. I've given a couple of updates today on existing positions, raising stops, taking a little bit off the table, putting some money in your pocket on things that were going up. Tonight, I wanted to give you a new recommendation. As I Talk to the Wind by King Crimson, a song I haven't heard in a long, long time. Uh, let's get into this. So before we get into the recommendation, I just want to give you a little bit of an overview on the short-term direction of the market. And last night I suggested that the S&P was at a type 2 rainbow convergence, which means it's a bearish divergence. Prices broke below, brought the convergence of moving averages together. It retested that resistance level and turned down today. And then it rallied into the close. And tonight, futures are up about 40 points. So we're right back up to that resistance level. So it's really interesting, kind of dicey on, is the short-term move still higher, or will we, on most type 2 convergences that can't break through resistance, they set new lows, which would be below 49.53. It's 2.5%, 3% lower. But anyway, that's the short-term picture. Here's a recommendation I wanted to share with you tonight, and that is the Gold Miners ETF, GDX. It's a long-term chart going back to 2006. And since 2012, we've had kind of a huge sideways consolidation where the price ranges have been narrowing and narrowing. And normally that's like the bulls and the bears on a security will be fighting for control. And as this consolidation gets tighter and tighter, it builds up more and more energy. And when it decides which direction it's going to go, it goes quicker and faster. So that's kind of the big picture here. But what I wanted to talk to you about tonight was the last 4-year consolidation from 2020 through today. You can kind of see here an inverse head and shoulders pattern developing, and I want to take a closer look at that. And so here we are. We got a left shoulder. We got the head. We got the right shoulder. It's like a man or woman hanging upside down. And we had a slight break above today, but this is a weekly chart. So each one of these bars represents a week of price action. So we won't have the final for this week until the close tomorrow, whether it is a clean breakout or not. I don't want this pattern to get away from me. I've been watching this, and so I am recommending buying GDX. The upside price projection is 50, and I'm going to put a tight stop here at 32. So the downside risk is minimal, and the upside is great. And there's you could also look at this and say this is a triangle pattern, a symmetrical triangle with an A, B, C, D, E, and then prices higher, which would give us a higher price projection. But I want to go with a more conservative pattern, which is the inverse head and shoulders pattern. There's another reason why I don't want this to get away from us is that if you look at go into my toolbox of technical tools, and one of the disciplines that I've shared with you in the past is the Elliott wave theory, which believes trends or cycles go in waves of 5. And so when I look at this, I see a 1 and a 2, And within, meaning that we've entered into a third wave. And what do you know about third waves? I've talked a little bit about this in the cannabis ETF and copper and some other things, is that third waves are never the shortest. They're normally the longest, the most intense, and in an uptrend, the most profitable. So, with that kind of a backdrop, uh, it gives you a little bit of insight into why I want to make this recommendation on Thursday and not wait till the weekly close. I hope that made sense. The upside is great here, and we don't want to let this get away from us. So let's take a look at the point and figure chart. It's less subjective. It's more pure supply and demand. I don't have the inputs there. It's just X's and O's. X's for buying, O's for selling. And you can see that we have a new bullish trend line in the gold miners, and we have an upside price projection of 53. So it gives us approximately the same landing area as the more subjective chart that I shared with you previously. And so I like when those two are going in the same direction. So thus far, the suggestions that I've shared with you are the U.S. cannabis ETF, MSOS, which we were stopped out of, which we're looking to re-enter at the right time. I also shared with you, recommended the China large cap ETF, still in an uptrend, still looking solid. Copper, which is still in an uptrend, still screaming higher. Utilities, uh, that includes XLU, the ETF, as well as Southern Company. The symbol is SO, also looking very strong, while the overall market has not. And I want to encourage you on big up days, to take a little off the table and buy back on down days. And today I raised the stops on copper and on utilities. So the other recommendation so far is Marathon Oil, which was a recent. It's holding up well during some very turbulent market conditions. And today, GDX. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 recommendations. Still have 5 intact, and counting tonight's. And with that, thank you for watching. Chart Built Wealth, profitable investing with technical analysis. Have a great evening.